All right, number 7, we're going to be simplifying powers of I. In order to do this, you need to be aware that I has 4 stages or cycles that it goes through. We go I to the second power, I to the third power, and I to the fourth power. And then after that, it just repeats. I to the fifth would be equal to I is just going to be I in the simplest form. It comes from the square root of -1. I squared is equal to -1. I to the third would be -I, and I to the fourth equals 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get I to the fourth, or rewrite these in terms of I to the fourth by manipulating them and then simplifying. I'm sorry, I don't know why I write a 4 here. I to the fourth is equal to +1. Be careful there. All right, so number 7, our first problem is I to the 32nd power. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to rewrite this in something as a multiple of 4. If I can get this number to be a multiple of 4. So 32 is already a multiple of 4. 4 times 8 is 32. So using properties of exponents, I can rewrite this as I to the 4th raised to the 8th power. I to the 4th is equal to 1. So this is the same thing as 1 raised to the 8th power. Raising 1 to any power is just going to give you repeated 1s being multiplied. So 1 times 1 will have 8 of them. Multiplying 1 over and over again just still leaves you with 1. So this is the goal that we want to do. And any leftovers, we'll just have them separate. Now on part B, okay, we're dealing with a negative exponent, but we're going to handle it pretty much the same. So we have I to the -31st power. Well, the closest number to 31 that is a multiple of 4 is going to be 32. So I want to rewrite this. And again, using properties of exponents, I'm going to rewrite this as -32 plus 1. Okay, so I'll have this simplification because I'm trying to get a power of 4. So I will look at I to the -32nd power times a positive I. So this is the same thing with properties of exponents. Now that we have this as a power of 4, we're going to rewrite this kind of like what we did up here. We're going to factor out that negative power. So we're going to have I to the 4th power times a -8, and then we have times I. Well, I to the 4th is just 1, and again with the negative exponent it would just flip it, so it would be 1 over 1. So we multiply that, which is just 1, 8 times, we'll still just get 1. So we have a 1 times I, and that will just be equal to I. So I to the -31st power is equal to I. It would be, just leave it like that. The third part, C, we have I to the -62nd power. And once again, I want to rewrite this as a multiple of 4. This time I could either go up or down, but I think I'll just leave it the same. I'm going to go and rewrite this as I to the -64th times I squared, because -64 plus 2, according to property of exponents, base is the same, you add the exponents, that's going to give us 62. So I want to write something that's equivalent. Now I'm going to factor 4 out. So if I do I to the 4th power, we'll multiply that times 16. So I'll put a -16 up here. So -16 times 4 gives us 64. And then that'll be times I squared. This is just going to equal to 1. Okay, 1 raised to any power is going to be 1, so you'll be left with I squared. And I squared is equal to negative 1. So negative 1 would be our final answer. And then part D. I to the negative 25th power. And again, just following the same pattern, I'll go up to the next highest integer, just a factor of 28, which will be I to the 28th power, negative 28th. Since I added 3, I need to subtract 3, so that's going to be times I to the 3rd. And then using multiplication, we're going to rewrite this as I to the 4th raised to the negative 7th. This gives us the 28 times I to the 3rd. This will equal 1. I to the 3rd will be left. And I to the 3rd is equal to negative I. Okay. So we get our 4 answers, and we'll input those. The first one, we had 1. The second problem, we got I. So I. The third part, we got negative 1. And the fourth one, we got a negative I. There's some part we didn't finish. 1 I. Okay. Got to reload. Looks like everything's the same, so let's input this again. 1 I, negative 1, and negative I. Be careful, finish your work. What else are they looking for? I don't see anything. Okay, we're good.